What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 98, where we are close.
Getting there, man.
Very, very close to 100.
Yep.
We are going to get to these beautiful shirts in just a moment, but before we get into it officially here, I wanted to just briefly give a shout out and thank you again, because it feels like just a few weeks ago I was mentioning that the traffic on the site was the most we'd ever seen. In February, we broke the record, and we're not even at the end of March yet, and we've already broken that again.
Yeah.
So, really exciting. I don't know what the hell's going on, to be honest. Corona, maybe people are just hanging out, checking out Season Gaming every day. But
I've been watching a lot more podcasts lately, so
I have too.
Yeah,
podcast streams, even, which I don't normally do.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. But no, seriously, sincerely, you know us here well enough. Thank you so much. It's really neat to see just the growth, the sightseeing, and even like you said, podcasts. We're getting good traffic on that, on this too, on this thing we're talking to you about right now.
Yep.
So thank you, and as always, if you do check us out on YouTube, we always say, likes, comments, super appreciated, because it obviously just helps a small show like us get out there. So now on to these gorgeous shirts. So this is another one of our new designs, as we teased. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
As we teased 2 weeks ago, we've been working on this for a long time now. Getting a Season Gaming merchandise store up. So as of today, as we're recording this, it is now live. So there is a page on our site with the details. We have officially partnered with Special Effect, which is the gaming charity out of UK, out of England, which basically helps people with disabilities and other things, game. And we've also partnered with Able Gamers, which is based out of the US and does some similar work. Two really good charities, worked with their directors and some of their leaders there on kind of talking about this, and really, we just wanted to do something a little different. With Season Gaming being the site that, we run kind of out of pocket, no ads, no monetization, really wanted to see how we could give some of the revenue back to the gaming community. So I thought that was a good way to do it.
Heck yeah, man. I think it's awesome that we're doing that.
Yeah.
I've heard, both of these companies are fantastic.
They're great. Yeah.
It's really cool to be able to do that. I know a lot of people, it's not a whole lot per shirt, it's not like we're donating millions of dollars right.
here. Yeah,
but every little bit helps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, this is a really good opportunity for us to do this kind of thing. I'm excited. Plus, I love shirts.
Yeah,
I have so many of them. It's unbelievable.
I'm up to 50, 60 t-shirts upstairs, but I want to say 95% of them are gaming shirts now.
Yeah.
It's just my whole wardrobe, and that's all I wear when I'm not at work.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
So, no, it's great. Talking to some of the people at Special Effect and Able Gamers, including Steven Spohn, who many of you may know and follow on Twitter. He's kind of the spokesperson for Able Gamers. It's just been a pleasure. And I did talk to multiple other companies. It's kind of weird, you basically approach these companies in partnership and basically talking about donations. And some of them, and I won't mention any names, were just kind of indifferent to it. They're like, eh. And I'm like, I'm offering free money. Anyway. But no, Special Effects and Able Gamers were great. So really happy to do that. We ended up going with a store on Threadless. So just real quick, I know a lot of the guys out there run through Teespring, and I did look at them initially. I just wanted to explore some of the quality options for the brands and the shirts that the places offered. So, and I thought Threadless was a better fit there. So you can check that store out. There's a link, like I said, on the site. And then most importantly, of course, is the designs. So this design is one we called Synthwave. And, it's kind of Blade Runner-ish, kind of 80-ish, kind of cyberpunk-ish, but they're all being designed by Diego, who many of you are familiar with, and we've been working with him for a while. So he did a few new, unique designs just for this launch, and he's actually working on more as we speak. So we're going to keep new designs coming, and they're probably going to get a little more, I won't say crazier, but a little more extreme, creative, in the future. So
yep,
we'll keep them coming,
man. He's always done such good work. Our openings are, everything. Dinero Primero on Twitter. Follow him if you need some stuff. go get it.
Yeah.
Because the dude is awesome.
Yep. His he's in the post on the site with a link to his profile. Excellent. And awesome guy. So you just said it. You need anything graphic art related, reach out to him. He's great.
Yep. 100%. And these shirts, speaking of threadless, are super comfortable.
They're great shirts.
Yeah, and there's two different kinds. There's that soft material. This is just the basic one.
It's actually 4.
Or maybe 4. Yeah. Well, this super comfortable. And I order shirts all the time. Yeah. From I've ordered from Teespring. I've ordered from I don't know, was it QWERTY or something? I can't remember. There's several sites. There's TeePublic, and
there's
this
ink, custom ink. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, this shirt, is probably one of the higher quality ones that I've had. Yep. And it's just the basic, and it doesn't shrink. Yeah. Which is even better. Yeah. Because I'm fat. I wear a 3X, so if it just shrinks a little bit. Yeah. My gut's showing. And it's and they've been consistent so far. I know a few other ones I've had, it's always been, I've ordered the same kind of shirt and it's always something different. Yeah. So that's annoying. Consistency is super important. So I really like these. Yep. And this one that I'm wearing is the Tri-Blend. I like those kind of flexy shirts. Because he works out. But it's really nice too. Yeah. And the prices, they're good. Affordable. And they run a lot of promotions as well. So in fact, I think, I want to shout out to KD. So KD joined the site a little while ago, wrote that amazing article, if you haven't checked it out, around the history and the future of console gaming. He was actually our first customer, so thanks again, KD. He ordered a shirt a couple days ago and, tested the whole process for us to make sure it worked. But, he got the shirt for I think 25% off or something. There's always promotions, nice. And it's all set up to do that automatically, and we're going to donate to the charities once every month in a bulk donation. So good stuff. All right. So get your shirts, man.
Yeah, man. Get shirts. There's mugs. There's stickers. There's hoodies. I haven't ordered a hoodie yet. I'm going to. Yeah.
Maybe in the fall. I love hoodies too.
Yep. Gosh, so move that screen. There we go. All right. So weekly poll. So another thing we've got coming is we talked about getting close to episode 100. We are going to do a live show for that. Bert, who many of you know, of course, is coming back for the live show. It's only appropriate given that, he and I kind of started the Bitcast originally. And then we're probably going to have another guest as well. KD, who I just mentioned, is going to try to join us. And then I think next week we're going to do a live show as well to kind of test out the waters and make sure we're not completely inept at doing this. But Archimedes, who is a listener every week and a great guy on Twitter as well, who many of you probably know, he's going to join us next week as a guest as well. So some cool things upcoming, but stay tuned for our plans for episode 100 because it's going to be fun. Yeah. We did our weekly poll going back to that of, if we were going to move the Bitcast to more of a live show where you guys could kind of interact with us and be in the chat with us while we're recording, what time on the weekend would you like to see that? And really we were pretty much asking, do you like to see early on Saturdays, kind of midday Saturdays, or Sundays? And it was pretty clear that you guys prefer Saturdays, so that's fine, we can do that. Yeah. We offered 11 a.m. Central or 1 p.m. Central, and funny enough, it was an exact tie.
We'll just do it at 12.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just do it at noon and split the difference. So again, thanks for giving us your opinion there. We'll go with Saturdays when we can, of course. Really, the only reason we don't do a live show consistently is because our times don't sync up the same every week. Family guys and kids and everything else going on. So
exactly, but lockdown. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a little easier right now. So.
Yeah, we can do it anytime.
But looking forward to that. So, because it'll be fun to hear from you, some of you, while we're chatting.
Yep.
So
for sure.
All right. So I think all of that housekeeping is out of the way. We can talk about some games.
What?
Is that what we're here for? Games? Yeah, I guess. I mean, might as well while we're here.
Whatever.
All right, so I'll probably need you to talk about this one a little more than me, but announced just this morning as we're recording, funny enough, we're recording on Sunday, is that Nier Replicant Remaster was announced. So if you're not familiar, everyone here on the Western countries is familiar with Nier Automata, right?
Right.
It just announced it sold over 4 million copies. It's past 4 million copies, which is damn good for a game like that. Nier Replicant was the game that released on the PlayStation 3 almost a decade ago.
I think that was the Japan one.
Only in Japan.
Yeah, right.
Correct. And so it's never been in West. Square Enix is remastering it. The developer is actually, I think, Toy Square. I'm going off of memory.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. But it's coming to Xbox One, PS4, PC. No release date given, but likely sometime this year. There is a teaser trailer for it that is up on the site you can find. But this is really neat. This is like a prequel, but the whole story with the characters with Nier is very strange.
Yeah,
so.
it's not like Nier Automata wasn't, from what I understand, because I've never played Nier, isn't a direct sequel to it. It's more like an indirect sequel, I guess, maybe in the same world.
It's tied to the Dragon Guard.
Yeah. Draken something.
Dragon Guard series.
The fifth ending of the Draken Guard. Yeah, I have no idea. So, but I've always wanted to play it.
Yeah.
But I've never had that opportunity. So, Nier Automata is a very, very... It's one of my top 10 games this gen, easily.
Okay.
I love that game. And it's one of those games, it's just like The Witcher. You know, there's games where I don't play them. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to like that game. And then all of a sudden, you start playing, you start getting into it, and you're like, dang, this game is good. It has amazing music. It has there's like 15,000 different endings that you can, play through. Just when you think you're done, you're not done. The combat is super fun. It's super fluid. It really turned into one of my favorite games of the
Nice.
gen.
With that said, not to interrupt you,
No, you're fine.
that's coming to Game Pass
Game
now,
Pass,
April 2nd.
You should play it.
So Thursday, as you're listening to this.
Right, yeah, and it's definitely worth the try. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. It's got some Japanese overtones.
Wasn't going to be smart, but I was just about to say I hear it's very Japanese.
Yeah. It does for sure. But and I'm not necessarily into that kind of thing. But it's so much cooler. Plus 2B is super hot. I'm not even gonna lie. It's everything about it. It just kind of comes together, and where you didn't expect. They've got some kind of side-scrolling stuff. It's a lot to it.
Gameplay's supposed to be really strong, right?
It's very strong. Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite parts too. It's just a good game all around. A lot of collectibles, a lot of stuff you can go and do.
You might have pulled me in. I was just about to say I never played it. Heard great things, but I've also heard it's very Japanese, which, as I've mentioned many times, those games don't appeal to me as much anymore. But it's coming to Game Pass, so I'll try it.
Yeah, I will for sure, man. It's totally worth it.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, this is neat news. I saw a lot of people excited about that this morning after the announcement, because it's always great when we get a game that's never come to our market before, So we've got some big publishing changes to talk about. There wasn't a lot of pure game news this week. I think people, with Animal Crossing and Doom and Ori and the big game releases that finally kind of started to hit. Yep. In terms of new game news, there wasn't a lot, but some big publishing deals. So Epic Games goes without saying who they are, right? They came out and out of nowhere announced a publishing deal with 3 major developers. So this is kind of unique because it looks like Epic is starting their own publishing branch. And so what they announced was that the developers who are making these games are going to have full freedom and creativity and retain all the rights to their IPs. Yet Epic will fund up to 100% of the game's development, marketing, localization, publishing, basically everything to do with the game. They'll fund it. And then what happens is, from what I read anyway, it's like a 50-50 split on the profit.
Oh, nice.
So basically Epic gets paid back, they take 50% of whatever the game makes. But they announced a publishing deal with Remedy, big company, and this is a new exclusive, well, no, I won't say exclusive, a new title that Remedy's working on. It's not something that's been announced.
Right. So that what's funny to me about Remedy is that, a few months ago it was, Microsoft is looking into buying them. PlayStation's looking into buying them. And acquiring these guys. And then Epic kind of swoops in and goes, no, we're going to go.
Yeah. So. And I think the whole Microsoft thing was weird anyway, because if Microsoft was going to acquire them, they would have already done that.
Yeah.
Because they've had a partnership with Remedy for a long time now.
Right.
Playdead, who, if you forget who Playdead is, they did Limbo and Inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, hugely curious to see what their next project is, because those games are incredible. And then Gen Design, and I forgive my ignorance here, I actually had to look this one up, but I didn't realize that the company that did Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, and Last Guardian, they've started a new studio called Gen Design.
There you go.
So in the teaser trailer for this, they basically show all 3 of these studios. Really cool trailer. It's only about 2.5 minutes. I suggest checking it out.
But basically, just talking through some of the key people like Sam Lake and the other guys from these companies, and just, here's how we're going to get our games kind of made and published in the future. Now, what's not mentioned here, and what's probably concerning to me, I don't know about you, is that Epic's been very aggressive with the exclusivity on Epic Game Store on PC, right? And that's where they, put their stuff right now. It was not mentioned where these games are going to reside. So it wasn't saying, these are definitely going to release for all consoles, or if it's just going to be on PC on the Epic Game Store. They didn't talk about that piece of it.
Yeah, but Epic likes money.
Yes, they do.
And there's really no competition. I mean, it doesn't do them any good to keep them off of consoles, so I can't imagine them.
And I don't think Remedy would have done that.
No, I'm sure they would.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Well, same with any of these companies, really, because, Gen Design, these games were PlayStation exclusive, huge games. Playdead, Limbo was a Xbox Live Arcade title, if you remember when that launched. So, anyway, but this is interesting. I'm curious to see, Epic's obviously flexing those Fortnite bucks right now, and being able to set this up. But what this signals to me, and we'll talk about another example here in a second, but the whole thing around PlayStation buying Insomniac, and obviously Xbox Game Studios purchasing and growing their studios, and Epic doing the publish, Stadia building new development studios, it just goes to show that, one, gaming is continuing to grow and will continue to grow. It's a multi-billion-dollar market, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's just going, these companies recognize this, right? And they're trying to lay the foundation to get a piece of that pie, in the future. But it's going to be interesting, I think, to see this play out over the next few years, because there's no way this stuff is done. We're going to see more new studios. We're going to see more exclusive studios.
Oh, sure.
This stuff's just going to continue.
Yep. Hopefully not with Stadia. So along those same lines, Avalanche Studios, and everyone probably knows Avalanche from Just Cause. They also developed Rage 2, under the Bethesda publishing branch. So they've become Avalanche Studios Group. And so Avalanche Studios, the actual development studio, will continue making kind of major titles like Just Cause and whatnot. They have another studio titled Expansive Worlds, and I don't play these games, but I know millions of people do, and they make the Hunter games, those hunting games. Yeah. The Call of the Wild. Which, funny enough, I've heard is a really kind of relaxing game to play. I was talking to some people, because basically it's like you're hunting, right? Okay. But it's just very serene. And obviously you're not killing anything in real life, so you can just kind of relax. And anyway, but then they set up a third development studio called Systemic Worlds, which is apparently working on a new unique IP, which is going to be a first-person shooter. And they teased it. And the teaser was 20 seconds long, but it basically approaches a cave, and all you hear is beasts kind of growling. Yep. Hard pass. Nope.
So don't know what that is yet, but again, goes back to what we said about Epic. It's just these studios are growing. They're branching out of the titles they're making, and gaming's just going to continue to expand and grow.
Yeah. And it was I don't know if it was the CDC or WHO or something came out and said video games are good for you during this lockout.
New York Times ran an article. Yeah.
Somebody came out and said it.
Yep. They said New York Times.
All of a sudden, they're good for you.
Now we're not the problem.
Now we're helping. Stupid asses. So it's great to see all these studios.
With so many people gaming now, it's very clear that once this quarantine period is over, so by 2022, if everyone's a mass murderer, then we'll know that video games were the problem.
Exactly.
But if not, then we've put a nail in that argument.
Yeah, everybody's playing Fallout. If we see guys running around with swords trying to cut off, beasts' heads.
Mad Max outside.
Yeah, right, yeah, we know that we probably made a mistake. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, it was funny to see a New York Times article say that it's a perfect time to play video games and you shouldn't feel bad about it. That was the title.
I don't ever feel bad about it.
Who feels bad about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Wake
Get
up,
out of
people.
here, you people.
All right. Speaking of success, we're going to talk about the Switch again. So, the Switch this week surpassed 12.8 million units sold in Japan. Now, obviously, that doesn't sound huge, but Japan's a much smaller country, which officially puts it now ahead of the Wii. And everyone knows the success that the Wii was, right? Huge success. So it is now the third best-selling console of all time for Nintendo in Japan, only behind what would equate to the NES and the Super Nintendo in the Famicom, and Super Famicom. But given that the Switch is only 3 years old, there's a good chance that it may surpass those. And of course, if you remember, back then there was no mobile gaming, right? So to surpass the NES, which was a revolution, and the Super NES or Famicom would be a hell of a feat. And part of that is being driven by Animal Crossing, which has obliterated records. So a good game in Japan sells like 100,000 copies. Like if a game sells 100,000 copies in Japan, that's a very successful game. Smaller country, right? Animal Crossing in launch week in Japan sold 1.2 million units. It's bonkers how well that game is selling. And from all the analysts we follow kind of on Twitter who study this stuff, they said it's beyond any prediction that they could have expected.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to slow this down is actually them being out there, because you can't find these Switches now.
Exactly.
So now it's hard to find a Nintendo Switch.
I saw people, retailers online were selling them for like $600. I'm like, come on, man. It's ridiculous.
I mean, Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. But no, it's bonkers. In fact, I think it was Benji Sales who said that he doesn't even expect Halo or Last of Us to top the sales of Animal Crossing in terms of exclusives.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No way.
Well, I mean, think of that though. Last of Us is a 10+ million unit seller. So is Halo. For Animal Crossing to beat both of those would be huge.
That's disgusting. I mean, but you're looking in. It depends on like the long term. I think in the long term. I mean, it still doesn't have a chance, really. I mean, I don't think Animal Crossing is so huge.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I almost bought it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I might just buy this and see what it's like.
So we've talked about it. Neither of us really get it, right? So RKG, who I mention all the time, the guys I follow, they did Rory did a stream of it the other day, and I watched it for and I love those guys.
Yeah.
Watched it for 10 minutes, and I was like, I can't watch it. I'm bored to tears. I don't understand. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't
get it.
Yeah, I don't even know really what it is. So,
it's kind of like a goofy. Goofy's not maybe the right word. Light-hearted sim, like building sim, community sim.
Oh, yeah, I would hate that. So, but I mean, for the people that do like it, that's awesome. And and a lot of people do. So, yeah, it'll outsell.
Well, we've heard like Alden and Nick. I know we're playing. Oh, yeah. And Alden's loving it. So good stuff. I mean, it's to me, it's cool that so many people are. It lived up to the hype.
I mean, I hate to say it but it hit at the right time.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, not only with everything that's going on, but it's just we knew it was coming. Not the virus, the Animal Crossing, but I don't think anybody kind of saw the effect that it's had on it.
Yeah.
But then video game sales are going up anyway, so it's fantastic.
Saw the report out of UK that and they were all very close, but between Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation 4, sales were up 150%.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
All right. So with that, sticking on Nintendo, so Direct, they had a Direct Mini this week. I don't know what makes it a mini when it's the same length as their normal Directs, but whatever.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, so it was mostly, and maybe this is the mini part, it was mostly just updates on existing games, a lot of DLC, Xenoblade Chronicles. They did show Bravely Default 2, which was cool. A few other things, Animal Crossing, Update 1.1. But one of the big announcements people were excited for, and it's more port, which we seem to talk about with the Switch all the time, but is that Borderlands, XCom 2, and Bioshock Collection all coming to the Switch on May 29th. So
I'm going to have Bioshock for the 360, the Xbox Collection, and now the Switch. And I'll have XCOM 2 probably on the Switch as well, because that seems like the perfect place to play it. It's kind of got that Fire Emblem kind of thing going on. So that's one of those games that I can take with me everywhere I go, except I don't go anywhere. So
that's what I was just thinking. It's I love this, the availability to have Borderlands 2 would be fun to play on the go-to, but I don't play my Switch much right now.
Yeah, I still play mine quite a bit, but it's usually at night and I'm laying in bed and I'll throw something on for 30 minutes until I get tired and then fall asleep. Sometimes with it on top of my face.
I need to start doing that because I bought Torchlight 2 and I played it for all of 30 minutes.
Nice.
I need to take my Switch up and do that.
Do it.
Get off of social media.
Oh, God.
All right. So speaking of XCom 2, Gears Tactics previews came out this week. Sadly, not in the preview group, and I'm going to have to talk to Xbox about that.
Yeah.
I'll sort that out.
Get that taken care of.
But previews are out, and, I'm a huge Gears fan, and I was excited for this, but I never expected it to be like AAA.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a fun Gears-based strategy game. Well, kind of to my surprise, maybe not some people, but they're saying this is fantastic. A lot of the previews were very high praise, and not just from Xbox outlets like PC Gamer. A bunch of the other outlets were talking about how good this game is so far, saying that it basically mixes like XCOM 2 gameplay, but with humor and the Gears universe and like what seems to be really strong characters. So
I've never seen. I mean, I played Gears, but I never really thought it was funny. There's parts.
The characters have quips with each other.
Yeah. I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I haven't played this, so I can't really comment. But it was encouraging to me to see, just the praise that it was getting, because it comes out in a month.
Yeah. I mean, we've got that coming. And then, what else?
We've got
Minecraft Dungeons is coming.
Minecraft Dungeons, Resident Evil 3 remake this week, and Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Jiminy Christmas!
And speaking of Minecraft Dungeons, I saw Jez, who I think we're all familiar with, is playing it.
What is this?
Well, that's another thing I need to talk to Xbox about. Not that Jez doesn't deserve to play it, I meant for myself.
Yeah.
But the clips he's shown is saying it's fantastic. It looks like a lighthearted Diablo.
Right.
And it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be playing it for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
And he showed yesterday.
Is that on Game Pass too?
Yep.
Oh, I have to buy it. This is even better.
And he showed, he found what they call epic, which is like legendaries, and they have. I was like, oh my god, I'm in.
You didn't take much for you.
No, you start talking about loot, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of games, and it all coming at a good time.
Yep.
So
for sure.
Lastly, on the news front anyway, talking about Modern Warfare 2. So this has been a long rumor now. Everyone kind of worst kept secret type thing. But that the Modern Warfare 2 campaign is being remastered, and the files leaked in the latest update on PC for Modern Warfare. So anyway, confirmed that a remastered Modern Warfare 2 campaign is coming. We just don't really know the details. We don't know if that's going to come with like Black Ops whatever later this year, or if it's going to be a release.
Yeah, it's going to be a $60 Activision release. You know where they are. It'll be like, it's $50.
But they haven't talked about multiplayer.
Well, yeah.
So
it doesn't matter. How much was Modern Warfare when it remastered released? It was like $40 or something like that.
Well, you had to buy it with Infinite Warfare originally.
Right, yeah. And then they sold it separately.
And then they sold it separately for $40.
Yeah, $40 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now?
That's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be that way. Yeah, because screw you, Activision. I don't like you one bit.
Well, it's just... I saw a lot of people, at least from our followers, that were basically like, this is cool, because the campaign is good in Modern Warfare 2, but where's the multiplayer? The multiplayer is classic. Everyone wants to go back to that multiplayer.
Yep.
But it hasn't been mentioned. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if they do that. I'm not paying $40 to play that campaign.
Hell no. No way in hell, man.
No.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to, but that's crazy.
Oh, I'd like to play it, but I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't super impressed with the remaster of Modern Warfare. It didn't look that much better. Yeah. Like the multiplayer was actually not bad.
Yeah, it was kind of fun for a bit.
Yeah, but yeah.
It also playing those games, it also makes you realize how far multiplayer's come.
Oh yeah.
Because like the new Modern Warfare is fantastic, and like you go back and play the Modern Warfare remastered multiplayer now, and it just feels so antiquated. Yeah, basic and simple. Yeah.
I kind of like that actually.
Which is some people love. Yeah.
I always liked. I always played hardcore, and that was my jam back in the day when I was good, and not anymore. So now I just avoid it like the plague. But yeah.
So anyway, lots of games out and playing. So last night, if you weren't aware, Drawful 2, which is part of the Jackbox party games, they made that free on Xbox just to kind of help, again, something to play during these quarantine times. So Dan and I and 5 others got together and tried to play over Mixer last night with laptops and a group of people who didn't know what they were doing, and it was a hilarious cluster F. But it is out there and free, especially if you have like a family or you have multiple people in your house. Drawful's a really fun game, so just download it, play it. It's good fun.
Yeah, for local multiplayer.
Local, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Trying to play it remote was tough.
Don't.
The other thing is Predator Hunting Grounds. That demo is this weekend. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be over.
You didn't miss much.
No. So I was kind of excited for it.
I was a little bit excited for it,
just
too.
Predator,
right.
you know. So I jumped in, did the tutorial yesterday, and the first thing when you load it up, and I'd love to hear some of your guys' feedback, but wow. It looks like an early 360 game or PS3 game. Like,
yeah, I might say like a later 360 game, but
I'm saying early.
It plays like garbage.
It plays pretty rough. Didn't feel too great. And then, funny enough, I actually finished the tutorial. And right at the end, you have to kill this VIP guy, and you have to get his trophy, which is his skull, right? So I splattered him, and I don't know what happened when I jumped down on him and crushed him.
Nice.
And part of him must have landed up on this leaf. I sent you the picture.
Yeah.
So it's like, collect your trophy, but I couldn't get to it because it's like, it says it's on this leaf up here, and I'm like, how do it wouldn't let me do it.
I mean, to be fair, it's a beta, so it's going to have bugs.
But it releases in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So here's my problem with it. It was so loose. Like, I felt like I could press my thumbstick when I was running all the way around my controller. For some reason, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't feel like...
The gameplay is not finely tuned.
So, like, if you just kind of tap it a little bit, you run, like, super far. Like, if I was, like... it's like... I just ran 100 feet. You know, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. So I tried to adjust the sensitivity and do all this stuff. It still sucked. And it's just, these games nowadays, and I've seen this a lot, it's the same with like Ori, but not, you know, as I told you, a different game, but they add in so many mechanics and so many different moves that you have to like daisy chain all together because, you know what I mean? Like, it's just gotta have, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I mean, it just drives me crazy when, you know, I mean, it can be less complex, is what I'm saying. You know, but this one is kind of that same thing, you know, it just, everything felt really weird playing it. Didn't look awesome, but it had the sound was really cool, like going into like the...
Yes, it sounds just like the movie.
Yeah, it sounded really, really good. Like they nailed that part of it.
Yeah.
So that I enjoyed that.
Thermal vision, you mean?
The thermal vision, yeah, and the cloak.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that. But just the traversal. Yeah, sorry. Traversal aspect of it was, you know, a little janky.
Yep.
Super loose. That's what I'm talking about. It's just like you were just...
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
And I guess that's good. What do they call it? Predcore? Like, I want to punch my screen.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah, it was a dumb
trying to mix parkour with Predator.
Yeah.
Predator or something.
Predator, something dumb like that.
And then I was on a branch and my cloak wore out. Oh. So they saw me immediately, even though they're like 30 feet beneath me.
Yeah.
And then
everybody was looking at you at the same time.
And they go, "What?" The guy yells like, "What is that?" Right? And all four of them start just running, like all over the place, but they don't go anywhere. They just kept going in like weird diagonal patterns and circles. And this one dude was just doing this, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I got down. I had killed 3 of the guys, or there was one guy left, and so I jumped down to get him. I hadn't been hurt yet. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just destroy this dude." He walks back between like a building and like a tree. It's like he's walking backwards, right? He gets behind that. I can't get through. So then he's just like unloading on me, and I'm like, "What am I can't do. I can't jump. I can't do anything." I was like, "What is happening?" Oh, I was so mad. And so I lost half my life to one dude because I got stuck because I couldn't like just do this.
Yeah, just jump up.
Yeah,
yeah. It wasn't the best.
I hope that's like really early stuff. I mean,
they did say the build is older.
Yeah, okay.
I did see that,
okay,
but I don't know how old. It's
old.
Always
very old.
It's always a weird play when you're a few weeks out from release. And you put out a demo that's supposedly like a months old build. Why would you're just hurting your you're hurting your case. Yeah, and this was already on an uphill battle. We've talked about 4v1 game. You know, it's just.
They're not an easy sell.
No. So if you don't get it right, this thing could just die right out of the gate.
It sucks too, because Predator is an awesome IP.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, Predator, you suck.
Playing. I know you've been playing Ghost
Recon.
Yes, with the Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Expansion.
It's awesome. It's awesome. so awesome. Like I gave that game like a 6. I think when I reviewed it, yeah.
Which, was right in line, I think, with what a lot of places were.
Yeah, and I stand by that. Now, going back to it,
yeah,
I would probably say it's maybe a 7.5, 8. There's
because they've updated a lot.
Yeah, they've updated a lot. They've added that Splinter Cell stuff. They released a Splinter Cell episode for the original game.
Yes,
that was pure trash. It was so bad. I mean, it was just there was nothing to it. It was like 2 missions. And they were hard. They were ridiculously hard missions. But now they've got the Splinter Cell stuff out. The bigger thing is this immersive mode. It is so customizable now. The only thing that this game is missing still is the squad play, where you have your 3 AI squad mates. And that's a huge selling point for a lot of people. It was for me. Now, being able to sit there and tweak all the options, like your UI, you can tweak that. You can tweak difficulties, tons of stuff. There's tons of tweaks you can do in this immersive mode, and it's supposed to make it a little bit harder. It ends up making it a little bit easier, even if you're playing on normal, because before, so Ghost Recon Breakpoint went to more of a Division 2 loot system, right? Yeah. This basically goes back to Wildlands, where every gun is based, has a set of stats. And, that's it.
Okay.
You can't find a better version of that gun later on. You're always going to have the same one. You can upgrade that, you can actually take weapons off of people now instead of not being able to, I guess. So they've done a whole bunch of stuff. And the Splinter Cell story, which I did play through, I think I finished it the night before, and it was really, really good. Really good. It's not, it's if I didn't have all this time, I probably would have been still playing it, but I kind of hammered it out, and it's really, really good. You get to actually, after you finish it, you can actually, take your character and make him into Sam Fisher.
Oh, nice.
So then, after that, you can actually go back, if you wanted to, and just kind of play it like a Splinter Cell game, which is kind of what I've been doing.
Okay.
I've gone more stealth, which was a big issue before. I had a really hard time with the stealth stuff.
Yeah.
This immersive mode makes it a little bit easier to do stealth. So that's kind of how I'm playing now. I'm playing a second playthrough just as Sam Fisher.
Nice.
3rd echelon, 4th echelon, whatever it is now. There's a lot of echelons. But no Michael Ironside. It doesn't seem like his voice is kind of thrown off. So
yeah, that always throws people off.
Yeah, but he tries.
Okay.
But it's really good. They really did a good job with it, and they're continuing to support it. Unlike some games I know from EA and BioWare. So, not to mention any names, Anthem, but.
We almost got through an episode without talking about it.
So if you're, I would say they had a free weekend this weekend.
Yes,
it's going to be over by the time, obviously, that you watch this. But if they ever have another one, give it a try. And you get the first. I have the year 1 pass, so I have access to the whole thing. You get the first episode for free, the first mission basically.
Okay.
Meeting Sam Fisher and doing all that stuff. And I think, really, guys, it's probably as close as you're going to get to it. Splinter Cell game, ever.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that anymore. That rumor's been around forever.
Right. So just enjoy what you can. Be Sam Fisher. Complete with the goggles. There's like 3 or 4 different outfits that are.
Okay.
It's really
cool. I saw some of the pictures of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So someone gave me a key for Zombie Army 4, which came out a little while ago, right? And I hadn't played any of those games before. So I jumped in and I had relatively meager expectations, but surprisingly, it's actually quite a lot of fun. Playing it on Xbox One X, it's in HDR, runs well, has a performance or resolution mode. It's kind of funny. They mix actual World War II footage, like they give you footage of like Churchill and and all that, and then it just takes over and Hitler basically raises the dead, and zombies are everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. So I've been checking that out, and I also beat Ori this week.
Nice.
Kind of took my time with it, my play time on it, and I think it's one of those games that calculates play time. If you have it running in the background, it keeps counting because it shows I put like almost 40 hours into Ori.
See, that's what I did with Metal Gear Solid 5 too. I think it was a lot of pausing.
I hope so.
God, yeah. 300 hours, 150 of which were paused.
That's still way too many.
Yeah, that's weird.
But Ori, what hasn't been said about it? I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. It's absolutely gorgeous, stunning game. The soundtrack is remarkable, beautiful, and touching at the end. Great ending. My one gripe with it, which I was texting you about, was you think you're finished, or you're damn near finished, and then there's one more area at the end that you have to complete, which basically brings together all of the abilities that you've learned, the jumping and the catching and dashing and all these things, and it's really challenging. But it's not challenging to where the rest of the game is like, it's beautiful and you're exploring new areas and finding new things and everything. Like, the map's laid out for you, you have to go do these 6 things, and just getting to each is a pain in the ass. And you could tell, I think anyway, this is just my opinion, but you can tell that less design work went into this area, because it's not beautiful like the rest of the game. It's very kind of straightforward-ish. The boss at the end of it is really stupid. I beat him on the first try without really even knowing what the hell was going on. It's just really poorly designed. Again, it's not artistic or anything. It's just a very confusing area in the game. I don't know why.
Maybe that's why it was artistic, because it was not artistic. Yep.
No.
Yep. Come on, boys.
So, other than that, the game was incredible.
No.
I just don't understand that piece of it, which was annoying. But no, it was a remarkable game. I've got a collection of like 70 4K screenshots. And I'm going to put a little album together and do a little write-up on it and throw that on the site. But I just thought it's neat to share because of how beautiful some of the areas were in the game. So,
yeah.
What else have you been playing?
Ori. I played Ori. I actually got farther in this one than I did the first one.
Good.
So, but then you texted me, and I was like, well,
there's
a good chance.
Do you know what area was the last boss you beat?
I only beat like 2 bosses.
Okay. Well, there's not a ton of bosses.
Maybe just 1. No, 2. I beat 2.
Okay.
I can't remember what the last one was.
I'm sure you haven't gotten to the spider yet.
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't gotten to the spider yet. I've seen a spider, huge spider. It was like a background kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But that was just, running around.
You gonna stick with it?
Maybe. I might jump back on it until it gets to the point where I start wanting to throw my controller. And it's getting there because it's starting to introduce a lot of stuff. It's got that Metrovania kind of thing where you're going to have to go back and forth. And that works for a little while. And, the fact that you can fast travel between places is kind of nice. But I don't know, like, what perks to use. I don't know. All I use is, like, the one that you can stick to the wall.
That's a must.
Yeah, I feel like that I have to have that one. You have
to have it.
And then, like, extra life. Because I die a lot.
There's an achievement in that game for beating it without dying.
That's dumb. It's craziness.
And even for me.
Why would you even put that in there?
Even for me, like, I love those challenges. I'm like,
does it matter what difficulty?
No way.
Even then.
No, I don't think so.
You gotta play on easy.
And there's another one for beating it under 4 hours. I'm like, all right, if you level it out and speed run the hell out of it, you can do that. But not dying a single time.
See, I hate those kind of achievements. I hate them.
Yeah, it's
like any multiplayer.
It's annoying for completionists because you'll never get it.
Yeah,
you're never able to complete it.
Yeah. Can you imagine playing through that whole thing, getting to like damn near the last boss, and not even dying from the last boss, but like falling into like some bad liquid, and then you're dead?
It's funny you mention it that way because the last boss, who becomes a pain in the ass, his last phase, and I won't ruin anything here, but you're basically in the sky. And you know how you can jump off of things now, like you hold your left bumper and you can... Did you get there yet?
Yeah.
Where you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to do that the whole time while you're fighting them.
Oh, no.
You can't land. There's no ground.
Perfect.
So, I'm
going to hate that.
But
I won't even make it there. What am I saying here?
Well, I think I texted you after the spider, and there's another chase. They do the chase scenes really cool, but there's another chase later. That's actually when I thought I beat the game. There's a final chase scene. With this worm thing. And it was really challenging. And that's when I texted you. I was like, dude, like, I don't think many people are going to get past this point, to be honest with you. Did you ever pick up Doom yet?
No.
No?
I like I said, I got MLB. Still been playing that too.
Okay.
That's just more of, me trying to make the majors here. I'm not doing too well. I've noticed it's a lot harder. They've tweaked some of the mechanics a little bit. In the my player Road to the Show, whatever it is.
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit harder. It takes a little bit longer, which is fine. It's kind of got that, because you actually do like some RPG things. You kind of build relationships with your teammates.
Okay.
And Those give you bonuses to your stats during the game and stuff. So, and they've done that. They did that in the past, but it just seems like it's more in. I don't want to say in depth. It seems like you use it a lot more during this game than you did before, and you can level it up better, I guess, like faster.
Okay.
So that's kind of nice. The last game, it was just like, why am I even talking to these people? It's kind of a waste of time. Now, actually, it makes a difference.
So the Cubs aren't looking at you?
Not yet. Well, I mean, they're minor leagues, so yeah.
Well, the Cubs are like minor leaguers, aren't they?
Yeah. No. I don't want to hear it.
Someone who watched last week basically said, "Go Cubs, go!"
Yeah.
Well,
MLB has actually been streaming like different games and stuff.
I think all the leagues are doing that.
That's
NHL's
awesome.
doing this like classic games every night type thing. Yeah. So, pretty cool. Trying to think what else. I've been playing a lot of tanks, but I've already talked about that ad nauseum. So
we played Fibbage yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is the only game that worked.
No, Quiplash.
Quiplash.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Quiplash is awesome.
Yeah. So we were talking about, and is that one on the Jackbox Party Pack 3? Is there a Quiplash on there? No, because I was going to say that's on Game Pass right now.
Yes, Jackbox Party Pack 3 is
another
on
one
Game
you can
Pass.
pick up. Yep.
Definitely pick that up. It's a blast to play. There's Quiplash is in like Party Pack 2 and like 5.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Quiplash is awesome.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's it, man. And the Predator.
Yeah. No, we have to. I think I'll kind of check with the guys. We haven't played Quiplash again, but I'll break out Quiplash 2, which is it's set up the same way. It's just new stuff.
In the space game.
Oh my god! I get Trey. I get wanting to play that. There was a space game on Jackbox Party Pack, the new one, 6. I have 6, and we tried to play it over streaming, and it was just a disaster.
Yeah, it was a mess. Actually, most of them were a mess. But Quiplash was absolutely the best because it was a lot. You didn't have to rely too much on the stream.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
Speaking of which, if anyone listening who streams a lot, so Mixer was always known for having what they called FTL, which means it's like, they call it faster than light. But what it was like watching the stream was almost instantaneous with what the player was doing.
Right.
And they even, if you remember, Mixer had that thing where you could hand someone on a stream your controller and they could play while watching your stream. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because it was so quick. Like we were talking about, I don't know if it's just the number of people on right now, but the delay in the stream and what's happening is huge now. It's almost worse than Twitch, where it's like 15 seconds. We timed it last night.
Yeah, it was bad news.
So I don't know what's going on, but if any of you guys who stream are seeing the same things, or if you know why that is, definitively let us know, because it's weird.
Super annoying. But it is what it is. I mean, it's probably some kind of traffic thing where, it's just so busy, and they're working on stuff.
Yeah,
Live Ed's had problems. PlayStation Networks had problems. It's just nobody was ready for what was happening. Nobody was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna make sure that
My internet actually crashed last night.
Really?
Like at the house locally. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Anyway, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I think we're good for this week. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of game news this week, but just a lot of game-related stuff. Really happy to announce the store, like I said. So check that out if you will. Really appreciate it. Other than that, live show next week. Going to be our first live show in this format. So Dan and I will be in our
respective
respective locations.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're lining up to have Archimedes join us as well. So that should be really fun. We're going to be testing out some new software, so bear with us. It could be kind of funny, actually, to see how this kicks off.
Yep, and I won't have a shirt on, so bring your friends. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to go outside and tan.
Good God. It is nice out, actually.
It is really nice out. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the weather is.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I definitely won't need any lighting then, because, just the reflection of the sun on my naked body.
Stop it. We've lost everyone now.
Yeah. So. There's going to be nobody in the chat next week. I will not be naked, guys. Probably.
All right. All right, guys. That was episode 98. Thanks, as always, for tuning in, and we will see you live next week.